as we're settling into our next game. And oh my god, I forgot to change the title. There we go. Beautiful. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the Polish Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing CSO Esports. It is Trifax. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the best Zerg player in all of Bologna representing Team Liquid. It is Elazer. Here we go, Elazer looking to make a deep run, looking to take the entire event. Can he be stopped? Trifax on a good day, I believe he can, but everything has to go right for him. He has to be on point. We can't see any token swarm host this time. We need it to be able to be, again, in his best shape, in his best form as we can be to take down a player of the caliber of Elazer. And are we there today? Are we there? For now, hatch gas pool, standard openers here from both Trifax and Elazer. Everything looking as it should. Talking a little bit about the map, I should say that we are loading into Golden Aura. It is a very short rush distance by ground. You can be very aggressive. Things can kind of shift one way or another very quickly. It doesn't take too long at all to get across the map. In saying that though, a lot of these bases are very defendable, especially this linear third base. The ramp coming into the base itself is very narrow. It's very easy to defend on 3 bases in every matchup, essentially. The fourth is a little bit more exposed, and things can get a little bit more awkward at that point, but typically your 3-base setup is quite secure here in ZvZ. I'm curious if our players try to be a little bit more assertive and aggressive. We have seen some Zerg players try and play 2-base here, just because, again, the natural is also very defendable. So not the worst map to try to play 2-base. We'll see. We'll see what our plan is. I do think that the onus for the most part is on Trifax. The onus is on our blue Zerg player to try to catch Elazer off guard, whether it's with an all-in, whether it's with maybe even hidden tech or something a little bit more aggressive. I feel like Elazer should be feeling pretty comfortable coming into this, and all the pressure, or a lot of the pressure, is on Trifax. Here we go. So now Trifax is going to be taking his third. So far, no 2-base play from either player. Third bases are soon to be taken. So hatch gas pool into a third. Everything is looking normal. Everything is looking very macro-oriented. Behind this, we should be seeing some Baneling Nests thrown down from both Trifax and Elazer. Skipping a Baneling Nest can be a very terrifying thing to do. Not impossible, but you know, you do leave yourself a little bit vulnerable. Baneling Nest is on the way. Elazer's is going to be delayed here as we... Ooh, delayed a little bit further. Oh my god, almost getting a kill in that drone. Nice control here from Trifax. Likewise, Elazer does keep that worker alive. Can he keep this one alive? Looks like he should. Just barely. On 4 HP. Both these drones were one shot away from going down, so very clutch control there out of Elazer, keeping everything alive. His Baneling Nest is delayed by a couple of seconds, but is it the biggest of deals? We'll see if we can maybe make use of that window. Unlikely though, as the Baneling Nest should still finish up, and there shouldn't really be too much of an issue here for Elazer. Baneling Nest for Trifax is done. Safety Banelings are in production for the most part. Trifax is droning. Likewise, Elazer making a wave of lings, I'm sure just to be safe, and there we go. Droning from both players. Both players just macroing on up, getting into their 3-base economy. Another interesting thing to take note of here is that Elazer has opted not to make safety banelings yet. So technically, Elazer, he has more gas at his disposal. And there we go. We have a Roach Warren on the way from both players, both Elazer and Trifax. Trifax does hide his Roach Warren behind his mineral line, so it's going to take a little bit more effort to get a read on what's going on from the side of Elazer. But again, technically, gas-wise, Elazer is slightly ahead, but Trifax, he only made 1 defensive baneling. Oh no! Oh my god. don't want to waste it. But he only made 1, and there we go. We have the lair in production. Elazer going for a much faster lair, which means a much faster roach speed. Link comes in for a scout, and Trifax will see everything in the main. Gets eyes on the timing of the lair. The gas is being taken, and we have more lings on the way trying to punish this third, but we are in position. And Elazer holds onto that third base. And Elazer has actually gotten away with quite a lot of droning. I'm a little bit surprised here. Elazer, he's up 5 workers compared to his opponents. It looks like maybe Trifax did get supply blocked a little bit earlier on, so his droning has been as clean as his opponents. So far, Elazer, macro-wise, he is just taking a lead. Head in those workers. We do have Overlord speed in production, Roach speed +1 range as well. Trifax is just going to be one step behind. When I say one step though, really I should say half a step. So slightly delayed +1 range, slightly delayed Roach speed as well from Trifax. There is a window where Elazer is going to be up in upgrades, but that's a small window. As we do see Trifax taking a fourth. And Elazer actually opting to go for, let's go, a Dropper here. I did notice Overlord speed in production, and typically you wouldn't get Overlord speed without good reason, so yeah, the drop play is upon us. Ling's getting across the map. We do focus down two of those drones. Good pickoffs. It's going to be on Trifax to defend. Can he keep up? Again, we have Roach's head for the main base. Fourth base being taken. Looks like Elazer, he's done droning. Typically you want to get up to 3 base saturation. From here, nothing but roaches. Trifax doing the same, but again, he did lose a couple of extra drones. Oh, and we don't have an Overlord in position to scout. Aye. Trifax getting caught with his pants down. The roaches, they go straight for the main base, and Trifax is out of position. This queen is going to go down, and we're going to get some worker kills. And in a mirror matchup, this is brutal. Drones are going down at the same time. Lings are here at the 4th base. Trifax is being pulled apart. Oh, and he still has quite a bit of catching up to do as well. Trifax forced to keep some roaches here in his main base. These Lings wreaking havoc at the 4th as well. You can see that he's a little bit paranoid. He doesn't want to move out of position. He wants to make sure he's able to protect his 4th. But we're amassing a lot of units here. We're missing some injects as well because of some of those dead queens. The queens are trying to keep up with the overlords, which is why no injects, no army, and Elazer has completely just, overcome Trifax. Pulled him apart left and right, hitting this 3rd base. And Elazer, he's snowballing out of control. GG gets called. Elazer takes game number 1 in a pretty dominant fashion there. That was a solid game there out of Elazer. Again, like that drop alert. Oh, sorry, I should fix this up. Beautiful. That drop lord play basically won Elazer the game because it wasn't scouted. It wasn't just getting damage done, but I don't know if you saw, we only had 3 queens. We had 1 queen to inject each base. And when the drop lord arrived and when it killed 1, the other 2 were actually dragged over to focus down the Overlord for some anti-air, and because that was happening, that meant no injects. It meant that the macro and the production was impacted negatively for Trifax, and Elazer just surpassed him heavily there. Like we saw, Trifax had a big bank, and it's not because like he couldn't spend his money. He didn't have the larva to spend his money. Yeah, was just torn apart there. GG, well played. With that, Elazer does take a lead in this series, and he needs 1 more to take it in the end. Trifax, we need to fight back here and now. Game 1, for the most part, had a very passive start, had a very passive, even early mid-game. We need to see something different here. I feel like we do, and here we go, Trifax. We're loading into Game 2. It's going to be on Site Delta. Interesting. Okay, so not really a small map. Site Delta is actually a pretty defendable map as well. There's a ramp coming into the natural base, so you can be very secure on 2 bases. So we could try to get into 2-base play on a map like this. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Wouldn't be opposed to getting to a fast lair. I'm curious. Curious to see what we have in store for us. So we're loading in to Game 2. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Site Delta, we have the Polish Zerg player representing CSO Esports down in the series, looking to fight back. It is Trifax. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Zerg player representing Team Liquid. It is Elazer. And Elazer looking comfortable in game 1. That's why I'm curious, where are we going to be taking us in game 2? Trifax, where will you take us? How will we adapt? How will we adjust? Trifax has played aggressively in the past. He is not afraid to cut workers into a big roach push as well. But again, I don't know how I feel about aggression on Site Delta. does have a longer rush distance, longer especially compared to Golden Aura. That's another big reason why Elazer was able to snowball out of control on Golden Aura. Is I mentioned at the start of the game that it doesn't take long at all once you get momentum to just assert yourself, push out, and just snowball out of control. Everything's on a knife's edge on Golden Aura just because of how small and how congested it is. Side Delta is the opposite. Side Delta, very long, very big, very wide. A lot of these bases are spread out. So there are a lot of bases to be taken, but it can be difficult to defend your third and your fourth base, and even your natural at the same time. We have seen many players in a lot of matchups struggle to defend their bases and be pulled apart by harassment and by aggression. But that's once we get up to 4 bases. Your initial 3 base setup, a little bit harder to break. We'll see. For now, hatch gas pool opener from both Trifax and Elazer. No early gases, no early spawning pools. Nothing out of the norm yet. No 15-15, which we have seen on Side Delta. A 15-15 opener is basically when you delay your gases by quite a lot and you get into 2-base play. You skip link speed and get into roaches. But now though, again, link speed is on the horizon. Our scouting links are moving out. Oh. Trifax getting some nibbles in, but actually opts to chase instead of going for a scout of his own. Interesting choice. Elazer dipping in. Confirms the third. Rotate around. Safety bailiness on the way from Elazer. And we should be seeing the same from Trifax. It should already be thrown down, so it is a little bit delayed from our blue Zerg player. Maybe intentionally. I mean, it has to be intentional at this point, and there it is. We see why. That is 20 Lings in production. Trifax, he's going for a Ling Flood. There's the bailiness on the way. Very late, might I add. Very delayed. But again, Trifax is looking to be the aggressor. This is going to be a little bit scary for Trifax, I would say. Sure, we have a lot of Lings. That's cool. That's great and all. But Elazer's going to have some Banelings. He will be able to defend here. It's going to be on Trifax to avoid these Banelings and to trade well against them. But now, not a bad fight here from Trifax. The reinforcements are on the way. The Banelings are about to finish up, by the way. They're coming out. Oh! They do arrive, and it looks like one of those, not a single Baneling does get triggered prematurely. We do push forward. We do force this back. And Trifax is holding. Sorry, Elazer's holding. Behind this, Trifax is actually joining up quite heavily. He's hoping to force an overreaction, and so far he is. Trifax has gone away with additional workers, but we need a defensive Baneling, otherwise we could die to a counterattack. As the game is going to be settling from here. Elazer, he didn't lose any drones, but he lost them in a different way because he just wasn't droning. He invested quite heavily into all these Lings. We have Banelings on the way, but these Banelings, they feel late. Uh-oh. And here we go. How the turns do table. Elazer now looking to be the aggressor. It's going to be on Trifax to minimize his losses. Behind this, Elazer droning heavily, actually. Oh, the Banelings! Oh, Elazer with some miscontrol. 3 Banelings go down almost for free. Trading with a handful of Lings, and the last Baneling is going to go down as well. Uh-oh. And from here, Trifax, he can't push. Doesn't have eyes on the other side of this wall, so a bold maneuver here from Trifax. Where are the Banelings? We can bring them over. As he will be winning this fight nonetheless, forcing this army back. The Banelings, they will stay at home. And Elazer, he has gotten away with so many workers here. He's fully saturated on 3 bases. Again, I do think we could have pushed out with those Banelings. Roaches are arriving. And Elazer, he's getting into roach play. Trifax, it's taken him a little bit too long here to get into his own drones. So we're done with the Ling Bane portion of the game. We're getting into a roach v roach. I do think Trifax had an opportunity, but it did pass him by. And now the game is going to be settling. Elazer, he's going for a 4th. So is Trifax. Not another Bailey. As Elazer, he's been able to mine more for longer. Elazer was the first to hit that 60 worker count. So Trifax is playing catch-up. Because of the better economy that is reflected in the army supply, that's why Elazer has a higher supply in general. He was able to get into roach production a lot sooner. So again, a Zerg player able to get away with droning here in ZvZ is a pretty insane thing. That can just snowball out of control. We got Overlord Speed on the way, another Drop Lord in production here for Elazer. He wants to go for the same move. He wants to try to pull apart the attention of Trifax. Likewise, Trifax doing the same. Here we go. Drop Lords are moving out from both players. Again, we don't really have Drop Lords in position here to scout for either player, really. Overseer's coming in. Roach production underway. We are catching up with +1 range. And here we go. The Roaches, they are still moving out, actually. Trifax, he gets into the main first with their Queens in position. Drop the Roaches. No! Oh, we just barely dropped 2, but 2 more went down at the same time. Here comes the Roach counterattack of Elazer. Lings, they break into the natural. Roaches into the main. Queen is going to be going down. Once again, drones are going to be falling as well. Oh, as I say that, actually, no drones fall. Nicely handled there by Trifax, going for a second Drop Lord into the natural. Queens once again getting in position. Drop Lord's going for the third, actually. We could get damage done, but here comes the main army of Elazer. Trifax down in supply. Actually, sorry, it's not Roaches, it's Banelings. We try to get to the mineral line, but a good split here from Elazer does avoid the damage. Only 2 workers go down. So many of them are so low in the red. So close yet so far. Trifax has to be very careful. He's still trying to catch up in the roach count. Elazer going to be able to pick off some of these Ravagers. Gets one. One Ravager. Additional Roaches in production. Elazer is the first to max out, and he will be the first to get into +2. We got Burrow Tunneling Claws on the way. A Queen goes down in the main. These Roaches are being cleaned up. We save one. Barely do save one of them. A couple of free hits in. Elazer's looking to break through. Setting out a squad of Roaches. Likewise, Trifax doing the same, going for his own Roach counterattack. Can Trifax keep up? Splitting up his Roaches. Elazer, he does see the run by. Likewise, so does Trifax. There's a Spine Crawler in position. It's going to be buying some time. And Elazer, he should be able to clean this up. Burrow is done, but we have detection. And these Roaches will be shut down. So a more efficient trade here from Elazer. Likewise, its Roach army is going to be chased. Trifax going right through the center, actually. Trifax cannot take this fight. He has to back off. Meanwhile, when we do push through the middle of the map, we do catch some Roaches. But likewise, Trifax has to be careful not to be surrounded. We'll have to pull back. Again, 2 skirmishes going on. Trifax, it looks like he's going to be winning here on the right-hand side, but back at home, does he have enough? Elazer, he's gaining ground. Tries to push on through. Wow, so it looks like they did connect. Oof. They're connecting towards the end here as well. Trifax, he's trying to keep up. Reinforcements are on the way. Have we been hitting our injects? Trifax, he has a bank. We have not. Injects have not been hitting. Missing here at the natural, here at the third. Did get the fourth at least. No, Queen, where are you going? No. Oh, that's why. Oh, I see. Because of the inject method, fun fact, we have 3 queens and 4 bases. So this queen here was supposed to inject at the natural, but actually is heading here towards the 4th base. Because of how it was queued up. So yeah, the queens, you can see that they're actually like running between the bases to inject, which is impacting the larva and impacting the production here of Trifax. Aye, aye, aye. Here we go. Do have a laser pushing right through the left-hand side. Oh no, we're catching a queen! No! Not like this! You see Trifax pushing through towards the north. Getting caught out though. Laser moving towards that 3rd base. And it looks like Elazer, he may just have too much here. Yeah, he has a better concave. And he's getting into the mineral line. Drones are going down. Decent biles, but we also have roaches here on the left-hand side. 11 workers falling. Still more economic damage down here. Ay, ay, ay. Meanwhile, Trifax trying to get his own damage done as well. I mean, he's defending, he's forcing this back, but he may lose a hatchery. Meanwhile, across the map, Trifax trying to break through. Barely unable to. Oh, these roaches being so annoying. A whole position. We get a kill! The 4th base goes down. As well as 15 drones. Trifax dropping in the economy. Oh, no. And you can see here that these tunneling claw roaches are being so annoying to deal with. Both players are taking up into hydras and lurkers, but... Oh, actually, Elazer taking some biles to the face. A flag going Trifax's way at the same time. He's trying to break through on the right-hand side. He can fight. He can push through. Yeah, on both ends. Roaches are falling. This main army fight, though, could go Elazer's way. He does have the slightly better concave. Never mind, here comes the reinforcements. The miles. Oh, they barely graze the army. Meanwhile, on the other side, we have gone into the mineral line. Looks like the reinforcements are enough. Trifax is being cleaned up. Yeah, all these roaches are going down. There was potential. We almost got into that mineral line. We almost killed all those workers. Oh, we did get into that mineral line. But as a result, Elazer, he's up 11 drones. Trifax, he does have, or he is rebuilding his bases. He's trying to squeeze out a couple of workers. We're getting into lurker play. But Elazer, again, he's had the better economy for longer. He's remaxing faster. He's already got hydras, and he will soon have lurkers. Things have been getting really chaotic, and they continue to get chaotic here as roaches they tunnel into the natural and the main. Ugh. And Trifax is not in position, just too much chaos here. Drones going down all over the place. It's gonna be 8 worker kills. Aye, aye, aye. 9 even. And Elazer, he has maxed out. This game was pretty back and forth, and if you remember, even before the Roach portion of this game in the Ling Bane, I do think that Trifax was actually trading better. I do think that he had a lot of opportunities here, but alas, towards the end, has been pulled apart. Just could not keep up. We do have a couple of lurkers. Trifax is the lurker of his own. Having a better fight as a result, but we have the concave. The hydras are coming in, and Trifax, his army is crumbling. We're running out of steam, running out of units. Lurkers, they're gonna go down. GG gets called, and Elazer, he breaks on through. He will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, as Elazer will advance on here into the next round. And my condolences to Trifax. Again, game 1 was a little bit more one-sided. Here in game 2, a little bit more back and forth. But alas, his tournament run does end here in the quarterfinals. GG. And as we wrap up this best of 3, a big shout out to Juggernaut Jason in the chat. Gracias, papi, gracias. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session, I'm assuming. Hope you had a good time. For those that are tuning in, welcome to the CranKy Ducklings. Quack. Welcome to the H.4.0.S Open Cup. For those that are curious, this is a Polish-only tournament. All the players that you see before you here today are from the land of Poland, of Polonia, papi. Again, this is a bi-weekly tournament. Every 2 weeks we do host this event. I say we, Kashim hosts this event. And if you're wondering what is house even, I want to pronounce it correctly. It is a gaming bar. It's a gaming bar in the capital of Poland, and they actually have hosted offline StarCraft events. They've hosted offline events in the past for StarCraft, and they continue to host them. There is going to be an offline finals at the end of the year. But before the finals, of course, in the gaming bar itself at the venue, they are hosting these online bi-weekly tournaments, and you do gather points throughout the course of these weeks. You gather points and you get invited to the event itself, which will be in a couple of months. I think it's in January. I don't think we have a set date yet, but you know, around January, maybe February, the event will be held. So a lot to look forward to.